So I get what a social distancing protocol is, but what exactly are businesses required to do? While orders across counties and cities vary, they all require that essential businesses do three major things to comply with the social distancing protocol requirements. First, all essential businesses must prepare a protocol. Second, essential businesses must post the social distancing protocol at or near the entrance of each if they have multiple facilities in each one of them. And a copy of the business's social distancing protocol must be provided to each employee working at each facility. Now, to facilitate compliance, the Los Angeles County Health Department has issued a sample template of what the social distancing protocol look like that essential businesses can use to comply with this requirement. And as you're currently seeing in your screens, this is what the Appendix A that refers to the social distancing protocol really is. And we've made available a Word template that is in compliance with this, and I'll go into a little bit more detail of the contents of the social distancing protocol in a little bit. So if we can go through the next couple of slides. So that's virtually what it is. It's just a poster that you need to have to comply with the requirement. Okay, great. I know what I have to do, but what exactly does the social distancing protocol must contain? Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, so I'll try my best to explain what exactly is it that the social distancing protocol has to have. There are various categories of applicable measures that the social distancing protocol must include to the extent that they are applicable to the specific business. But in general, these include limiting the number of individuals who enter the business facility to ensure social distancing to the greatest extent possible. Also, in those areas where individuals, such as customers or employees, may have to line up, essential businesses must have markings in 6-foot increments to maintain social distancing. Moreover, essential businesses must provide hand sanitizers, soap, and water at the entrance of the facility and other high-frequency areas of interaction, such as cashiers. There is also some posting requirements, for example, the posting of the do not enter if experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. There's also a requirement of regular disinfecting of high-touch surfaces after each use, the providing of cloth face covering to employees and contracted workers who come into close contact with other employees or the public, require members of the public to wear a face covering while on business premises, and continue to adhere to the recommendations of the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health. So more specifically, all of the social distancing protocols, regardless of which county you are, must include certain information regarding compliance with respect to the topics I just discussed. However, certain contents of the social distancing protocol will vary depending on the industry, the business operations, practices, and feasibility, as well as the local or specific county that you are located in. So I'll talk about more on this in a second. Now, to dive in more deeply, there are 6 major areas of measures that must be addressed in the social distancing protocol. The first one is about signage. This applies to all social distancing protocols, regardless of industry or business, and relates to the displaying of certain posters, such as the one that I briefly mentioned about the do not enter exhibiting symptoms of the disease, and also posting the social distancing protocol itself. The second major area involves measures to protect employee health. The contents for this particular section will vary. For example, if teleworking is not feasible for a particular essential business, then that business would not have to require any employee to work from home, and this measure would be inapplicable. The next one is measures to prevent crowds from gathering. Again, the contents for this particular section may vary. Next is measures to keep people 6 feet apart. This refers to the social distancing practices of the business, and this will be mostly applicable to all essential businesses with certain exceptions. The next one is measures to prevent unnecessary contact. Now, this particular section is mostly applicable to restaurants and grocery stores as it relates to food-related practices. For example, these essential businesses would have to prevent people from self-serving any items that are food-related, and for example, prohibit food samples to be distributed on business premises. Now, the last thing that the social distancing protocol must discuss are measures to increase sanitation. Again, some of these practices will vary depending on the business. For example, disinfecting wipes that must be available near shopping carts and shopping baskets, that would be mostly applicable to grocery stores. whereas others will apply uniformly to all businesses. For example, disinfecting all high contact surfaces frequently. Now, before I hand it over to Anthony to discuss other particular local requirements, I want to mention one last thing. Just because the social distancing protocol template includes certain measures, it does not automatically mean that the essential business has to comply with all of them. Rather, the essential businesses should comply with those that are applicable to that specific business. But note, businesses must be prepared to explain to the enforcement authorities why such measures are not applicable to that particular business. For that reason, we recommend that all essential businesses carefully review the requirements in the social distancing protocol and comply accordingly.